So first of all, welcome to the Power Team Consulting Training Program today in Power Team International. We're very excited to have you guys here. We've got a lot to cover. There'll be a number of breaks, but we're going to take you through a number of items of what we do. So first of all, a bit of the company, the story, the vision, the mission for the consulting division, as well as go through all of our products. So you understand our products inside and out, as well as go through how to give a one-on-one presentation, how to give a group presentation. And we're going to actually dissect the group presentations. That makes sense? I'm going to take you through our presentations so you understand why do we close so effectively from the stage in a cold room with people we've never met before. And so we're going to actually break that presentation down. Then we'll actually go through the lead flow cycle, and then we'll actually talk about how you can participate locally, regionally, nationally. Sound good? And those are just a few of the things we'll cover in the next 8 hours. Say, Bill?
Bill?
I'm ready for more.
I'm ready for more.
All right, great. So what we did is when we looked at this whole overall model, we said, how do we create things differently, right? Because everything starts with a vision. Starts with a what?
Vision.
And our vision really is to become the world's leader for that small business market. Because if I said, who are the top 5 companies in the world that focus on educating entrepreneurs and small business owners, who would you say?
Landmark.
Landmark, do they really teach business education at all? None. They teach breakthrough education, they do it very well, right? But do they really teach business education? If we had to think about it, right? And the challenge that I see is that, any other answers you can think of?
Keller Business School.
Keller Business School for sure, right? That could be.
Damon Johns has an academy.
Who does?
Damon Johns. Around
Damon Johns has a new program, exactly, but it's all been in the last 1 year.
Yeah.
Right? So if you were to say, in the world, right, in the last 10 to 20 years, who are the top 5 or 10 brands? I don't think there are top 5 or 10 brands, which I think is sad. Mm-hmm. When you look at the government, the arm of the SBA called SCORE gets a budget of $7 million. That's it. That's their budget to go out and help small business. And most of the stuff they have there, some of it's what? It's dated. It just is. So the big vision is to become that world's leader through an independent force, right, of agents, of coaches, of trainers that love the idea of helping small business, helping entrepreneurs create even more success. And of course, is that easy? Yes or no?
No.
It's not easy. It's not. Because we know it's a very fragmented market. We know that most entrepreneurs quit.
Yes.
We know that most small business owners fail. So we've got a very tough road to get out there to become that recognized brand. And the one thing we've done differently than everybody else is that we already have a grassroots approach, right? We already have trade shows that our brand is seen every 2 months in the major cities, right? So we're getting a good footprint out there for that marketplace. But at the same token, none of this happens without coaches or trainers or speakers making those phone calls and helping entrepreneurs, because most entrepreneurs think they can what?
Do it themselves.
Think about themselves. And then when it doesn't work, they wonder, well, how come it's not working? Right? It's like, are you kidding me? Right? You literally, if you don't schedule your success, please write this down, you planned your failure.
Yes.
If you don't schedule your success, you've planned your failure. So let's kind of take you through the model, right? And the model that I've created, I would love your input because it's a working model. What kind of model?
Working.
Which means that we're always trying to figure out how do we make it better, right? And so even though part of the day is me training, but it's also us working together to create something that I believe in called a collective collaboration. A collective collaboration. And of course, we'd like to welcome all the new colleagues that are here today, right? If you're taking the first look at Power Team, awesome. Thanks for coming. You know, because I do think that as we do this, we'll have these in cities every couple months, or they'll be a part of our next day training. So when we have like our entrepreneur nights that we host in cities all over the world, we'll always have a next day training for colleagues, right? And this way, for those that are serious about becoming a partner with us, we can get them properly trained. Because one thing I do know is if they're not properly trained, they're not going to succeed. That I know for a fact. Because even though I've heard this saying that ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice, right? Have you heard that before, right? I think in this business, a lot of times, better off for them to take a step back and actually become well-trained and go out and build the business. Because I don't know the shotgun approach for this really works as well. I think that if you have a smaller team that's higher quality, that's really well-trained, we're going to do a lot more business. And that's why, you know, today is really about the first day of this to make sure that training is not only available to you, but available to our members all over the world, right? And that's a big part of this goal as well. And of course, we want to say welcome. So say welcome.
Welcome.
Say, I feel welcome.
I feel welcome.
Tell somebody left or right, say, you look good.
You look good.
But I look better. And if you're watching online, we love you guys out there, right? So one of the first things we're going to talk about is how do we sell that's different, right? How do we sell that's different? And I've been very, very good at selling from the stage for years and years and years, right? But it's a very different sale. I can walk into a room of cold audience that have never heard of Bill Walsh before, or maybe a few of them know Bill Walsh, right? And in 60 minutes, I can move the room to realize the need they have is the course of the program that we offer, and have them buy our courses or programs. And I know that's a gift. I know that's rare. I know that a lot of people are not that good at that, right? They don't feel comfortable in just that one-stop sale. And I believe that many times that when it comes to business coaching or business training, that the one-call close may not always be the answer. You know, I think that it turns into like a high-pressure sale, and when they feel pressured, you've got to convince them to buy. When you've got to convince them to buy, you've got to convince them to stay. And that becomes a problem. So what we've done over time is I've reviewed the process that we've used for higher-end clients, right? And I began to figure out what really is the most effective way, or at least one of the most effective ways, to be able to consistently create those sales with good quality prospects. Because obviously, you've got to have quality prospects, right? You can try to save everyone, right? But at the end of the day, if they're not ready to save themselves, all your knowledge is not going to help them. So we've created a 3-step process. How many steps?
3.
Say, I'm ready to learn a 3-step process. Okay, so part of the 3-step process is really something that we're all programmed for already, which we don't even realize, right? Who here has ever been to a hospital? Ever been to a doctor? Yes? And so normally when you walk into the doctor's office, what's the first thing they make you do?
Check in.
And you got to fill out what?
Form.
Some forms, right? And then before you go see the doctor, who do you go see?
Triage.
The nurse, exactly. And the nurse begins to ask you a whole bunch of what? Questions. So that's where I think the sales process for small business has to start. It has to start with, let's assess what's going on. So we've created a process, and we'll go through it in more detail, where we assess the problem, assess what's going on with the customer. Because obviously they called, right? So they have an interest to get some what?
Help.
To get some help. And then what happens after they take all those notes? Who comes in? The doctor comes in. The doctor usually asks only a what?
One or two questions.
Only a couple questions, right? So put up here, say, I am.
I am.
Put your hands up here, say, I am.
I am.
The doctor of success.
Doctor of success.
Nice. So now once we start to realize that we can assess, right? And ask great questions, then we can diagnose. Because if we don't assess and ask great questions, our diagnosis is always going to be what?
Wrong.
Wrong. Could you imagine if you just walked in the doctor and said, you know what, here's 40 pills and a couple shots, we'll see you next week. You're like, you don't even know what's wrong with me. It doesn't matter, just take it. It's one shot fixes everything, right? Would you ever go back to that doctor? Hell no, right? Would you even take the shots? Absolutely. No, and that's what happens a lot of times in sales is that we push things on people that maybe they don't even need. And so we create what? Confusion. And where there's confusion, there's no buyers. Where there's confusion, there's no buyers. And this we know for a fact, right? And the third part of the strategy, which you always hear this closing the sale, right?
Right.
That's how we're all trained, right? We do this, and we close the sale. I'm going to change that lingo going forward, that we're no longer going to talk about closing the sale. We're going to focus on helping the customer get started. Which one sounds better, close the sale or help the customer get started? It's not even close. And from a mental frame, right, because realize that you can literally speak into somebody's listening. If you're tuned into the results they'll get when they work with you, you can literally speak into the listening. And so we're going to help you guys understand today is that what would it look like to have an effective 3-call process for any prospect, right? And if it's done properly, you're going to probably close in the 80 to 90 percentile. Would that be right?
Yeah.
And I'll give you an example of this. My friend does coaching for Mercedes-Benz, right? And she was asked to go into the number 2 store in the world, big store, I mean the top store in the world, in Orange County, California. And she was asked to do an assessment of the team, of the 85 salespeople they had there, right? And she went down the line and she said, if you had to position yourself as an animal from the animal kingdom, which one would you be? How would you perceive yourself at this facility? And she got like 10 guys in and he said, you know, I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. You know what I mean? I'm just happy to get paid and make a deal here and there, right? About 4 more people, the guy said, I'm a lion and this is my kingdom. If someone comes here qualified to buy a Mercedes-Benz, they will leave with a Mercedes-Benz. And the funny thing is that guy, the part-time guy, mind you, is number 2 in the world for Mercedes-Benz. Because he shows up with a different what? A different presence, right? The other guy out of 85 salespeople was number 85. He was at the complete bottom of the sales channel, right?
The squirrel.
The squirrel, right? Because his perception when he walked down the lot, he's like, man, I hope someone buys a car today. I hope someone will buy one of these cars, right? His intention was never the fact that he was going to help somebody get started with a brand new car. Good?
Good.
So we've worked on this and created this process. And of course, you know, the big question we always get all the time is, well, where do leads come from, right? And obviously, I'm going to tell you this up front. You have to be willing to generate your own leads. Every week you need to be out there what? Planting, right? If you think you can just sit home and hope for the best, once again, you're in fantasy land, right? Now, we're looking for, as part of our certification program, to have lead gen systems in place, and I'm going to share with you exactly how that works, but I'm going to tell you up front, you can't always just count on that, right? You've got to be out there networking and prospecting every day in order to have enough sales, right, to really make your weeks and your months and your quarters and your years the best ever, right? Of course, we do use social media a lot. We rely heavily on joint ventures. We will go out to groups that have a list of our perfect customers, set up JV relations with them, right, where they'll mail for our offer, we'll mail for theirs. We've created lots of digital products that for churches, we'll give the digital product away. It's a $200 product. Audios, videos, training, all kinds of great stuff, because it gives us a qualified what? Lead. Because now they've had a chance to go through all the information. What does a digital product really cost you after the first download? Nothing, right? But we do know that there's lots of great networks out there that if somebody asks for that and they watch the videos, you now at least have someone that what? Is potentially a good prospect. Good? We do a lot of affiliate marketing. We do more of that this year, right? How do we look for more of those top-line affiliates that are great marketers? And these are all things that, once again, if you're a coach or a specialist, what I'm teaching you that we do, you can also do where? You can do for yourself, right?
Can you define affiliate marketing?
An affiliate marketing would be someone that says, you know what, I like your product, and I want to help you mail for it. Think of like a joint venture relationship, but it's a one-way. In other words, you're not marketing their products, they're only marketing for you. Does that make sense? But they may have a big list that doesn't connect. Sometimes they may have nothing to sell. So, for example, a great magazine could do an email blast for you to their list because they feel that your product could be of value, and you give it away for free to them, right? Because they always love free giveaways. They always love free add-ons for any of their events. So you can create it around that, and then, of course, utilize that to get new leads. We do lots of live events, right? We do what are called entrepreneur nights in cities all over the world. We sponsor lots of events. We always look for great networking events to sponsor. Anything that we can sponsor and speak, even just for a few minutes, because we know if we can sponsor and speak, we can give away some free what? And you should do the same thing for yourself. Every week you should speak somewhere, even if it's just for 2 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes to give away a free ebook, a free download, something for free that has value to that attendee that once again can create a good what? A good lead, absolutely. And of course, referrals. Big mistake that many of us don't do is that we provide a great service and we don't ask for what? Referrals. And we know for a fact that many times the best new customer comes from a satisfied customer. But if you don't take the time to get that message out there, it's going to cost you what? Money every time. And of course, the one thing that we do too, we didn't finish that, but the other thing we do too with a lot of these events is that as we began to sponsor smaller events, we then went to bigger events, and now we sponsor all the National Small Business Expos, right? We're the platinum sponsor for those events. I do the keynotes at all those events. But it builds our database to the tune of 4,000 to 5,000 new leads per month. Is that pretty good?
That's good.
That's a good start. So now it's taking those leads and actually creating an effective sales process that moves them to one of our programs or coaching or something along those lines, because once again, they came there for a reason. Many came there just to kick some tires. We get that, right? But there's a percentage that came there because they're looking to either become an entrepreneur, grow the business, or actually, come up with those new, fresh ideas to really sharpen the axe. But it's your job and it's our job as a team to make sure that if we have those events, that we follow up. And it's one thing we've not been good at, right? And I want to be very clear. There's a reason we're looking for an outcome-based consultant and coaching team that's more effective, because we would normally only provide coaching for the companies we funded. If we didn't fund your company, we didn't do any coaching for you. And we didn't outsource it. We didn't take your lead and give it to this call center or that call center, because I didn't feel that was the best service for the customer. And so we stayed away from all that. But now the fact that we're looking for a tiered program. We have specialists, we have coaches and consultants. And make sure we're very clear on this, right? A specialist is someone that coaches your own niche. So let's say that you're a health coach, or you're a psychologist, or you're a social media guru, right? And you're only focused on that one niche. We would love, and we're going to create programs now where someone can fill out a form. We'll send you that lead. We'll do a revenue share. You coach and you sell that client, becomes our client. Whose client?
Our client.
Our client, but we revenue share on the income. A coach is someone that's going to actually coach within our brand, where we'll give you a set series of programs that you coach and sell to our leads and to your leads. And the last piece is a consultant. Now, this is very different for consultants that work in the business community, right? Our consultant is someone that will actually sit down and sell our courses or programs. So we may have some people that just sell and some that just coach. We may have some that coach and sell. So they could be a coach and a consultant at the same time. Are we clear on that?
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of times in the coaching world, there's a consultant and there's a coach. We basically set up all of our consultants as people that actually sell our programs, sell our coaching, or selling the things we do through Power Team. Good? And of course, to become that expert, right? I think we know there's a learning curve. To be a good coach, it could take you up to 3 years. I don't believe that you're going to master any space at all in less than 3 years. And so if you're thinking about becoming a coach or a trainer or a speaker, if you're not going to commit 3 years to the program, like I tell lots of groups, right, then don't start, right? You've got to figure out a way to become an expert or a master in the space that you're in. And if you're not doing that, it won't be a good time to change. Right now. Good. So let me take you through our customer acquisition model, which will help you understand some things we just talked about. And then we'll kind of go through each of the programs and deals so you get those as well. Would that be helpful?
Yeah.
So wherever the lead comes in from, whether it's the sources we talked about earlier, what we're going to do is actually then take that lead into an automated call system. And it's a telephonic system that will basically let them know that we appreciate them, thank you so much for calling in, and if you'll just wait up to 60 seconds, we'll bring a coach on the line. And so what happens is we got a rotation system that'll then route to the next coach, right, that's in line for that client. This is not for the specialists. The specialists are email only. But for the coaching clients, if we send out an email blast and say you'll get a complimentary consulting session with one of our coaches, they can literally click the thing from the email and they can make the phone call from the web. Does that make sense? Yeah. Or they can pick up the phone and make the call. Either way, it doesn't matter. But as soon as they make that call, it's going to be directed right to you. And what we're talking about in this 3-call process is that it's a 6-day process roughly. Does that make sense? Yeah. So day 1 is strictly the assessment, no sales. So if you understand what that call would look like, right, let's just do a quick role play on a call. Who wants to role play with me? Anybody? Okay, so let's just say that you called in, right? So the phone rings, because I think as we go through this, we're going to break each of these sections down and do some role playing with this, because I think that'll be more helpful for you to understand how to make that effective sale happen. So thanks for calling. This is Bill Walsh of Power Team International. Who do I have the honor of speaking with today?
Kim Bitzer.
Hey, Kim, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. And obviously you know a bit about Power Team because you've seen some of our emails with the information, but maybe you could tell me a bit about your business, because what we've created here at Power Team is some amazing ways to help you launch, grow, and build an even more effective business. Maybe you could tell me a bit about your business.
Yeah, my business is in Legal Shield, and I'm trying to expand my team and get more sales, increase my sales. So I was wondering if you can help me.
And how long have you been doing that for?
A year and a half.
You know what's great about our company? What we like to do is like a 3-step process. So we like to kind of assess what's going on with your business. We like to get as much information as we can to make sure that we can even help you. And if we can't help you, we'll let you know that too. But if we can help you, we'll come up with some great ideas to help you do that in a very, very quick and efficient way. Would that be okay with you?
Yeah, that would be great.
So you've been doing it for how many years?
A year and a half.
That's excellent, because we do work with a lot of companies in the direct sales space. Most of our companies are small business owners, entrepreneurs, executives in transition, or independent agents just like yourself. And so that's awesome. In the business 3 years, and obviously that's a great company, right? I know a bit about that company, but obviously they've had a lot of success. What would you say are some of your biggest goals with the company in the next couple of years?
I would like to get more.
So you're taking lots of notes, guys. You're with me? Go ahead. Keep talking.
I'd like to increase my team, get more.
So what would that look like specifically? Tell me where the team is at today. Where would you love to see the team 1 to 2 years from today?
Well, I have a team of 10 right now, and I'd like to increase it to 25 people by the end of a year and a half.
So if you can go from 10 to 25 in the next 18 months, you'd feel that was pretty awesome.
Yes, that would be a great increase.
And what would you say is the big challenge as to why that hasn't happened with your business?
I guess people aren't maybe I'm not effective in the way I present it to them, so they're not seeing the value right away.
And how many hours a week do you put towards this business?
15,
So it's really part-time at this point for you.
yes.
Great. And if you actually set aside a budget to say that if I can go from 10 to 25, what would that budget look like for the year? Have you actually thought a budget through for that?
No.
So have you actually set aside some funds to run your business?
Yeah, I have some funds that I run it with.
So what would you say that is, if you looked at the last year, right? Let's look at the last 12 months. It's a great way to timeline stuff. Does that make sense? So if you look at the last 12 months, what would you say was your marketing budget for the last 12 months to build that business?
I used up at least 1,000.
So $1,000 for the whole year. So really, and then how much time have you put into it? So 15 hours a week. And how much do you value your time at? If you had to value your time at 15 hours over, let's say 50 weeks, right? It's a good number of hours. What do you normally value your time at per hour?
$50 an hour.
Okay, so if we look at that, now all of a sudden you've invested what? Probably more than $7,000 or $8,000 of real time into the business, right? Plus all the dollars, right? And so now we start to realize that many times it's not the time we spent doing the wrong thing, it's the time we didn't spend doing the right thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so, if we could help you with some of those things, would that be awesome?
That would be awesome.
So if we could help you get your team to go from 10 to 25, would you feel that was an incredible outcome for the year?
That would be a great value to me.
That's awesome. And so also, maybe just tell me a little bit more about yourself. Give me just a bit of your background.
My background is I have an MBA in business, and I have worked I have over 20 years in IT actually. So I have been doing IT, and then I was laid off, and I decided to take control of my life, and this is what I started. So I wanted to go into something that I can get residual income.
That's awesome. So one of your big goals is also residual income.
Correct.
That's great. And when you look at your business, right, if you had to say on a scale of 1 to 10, right, you had to rank yourself, right, and 10 being the best, 1 being not so great, where would you rank your efforts, right, in order to make those things that you just talked about become a reality? Because obviously if you've got your MBA, you know it's hard work, right? You know that it all costs a lot of money to make those things happen. How would you rate yourself in that scale?
I would say I could do better, but I'm a 6 right now.
Okay, so if we can go from a 6 to an 8, that'd be pretty awesome. Yeah. So what's really great about our company is that we literally have programs all over the world designed to help entrepreneurs just like yourself create even more success. Whether it's our speaking programs, our business programs, or our mastermind programs, they're all designed to help entrepreneurs just like you have even more success and get there a whole lot faster. Would that be kind of nice?
Yeah, that would be great.
So what I'd like to do is that, on this call here, our sole focus for me to kind of get some ideas from you, listen to what's going on, and then actually put together a tailored solution just for you. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that would
So if it works for you, I'd like to schedule a call 2 days from now, probably at the same time.
Okay.
Would that be all right?
Yeah.
And let me just make sure I double check your email, double check some of the information. And also, could I get your personal website that you use for that business?
It's www.kimbitzer.legalshieldassociate.com.
Okay, great. And so once again, if this is okay, can we schedule the call in 2 days?
Yes.
And in that call, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually prepare a solution for you. Would that be fun?
That would
I don't like to just blurt a bunch of stuff out. I like to actually take some time, work through a plan, and make sure it makes sense for you, make sure we can really help you. But I'm pretty sure we can.
Sure.
Would that be good?
Sure.
Okay, great. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Boom. So do you see how that call is very what? It's very productive because I learned a lot of things on that call, right? What would you say were some things you guys learned?
I discovered that she does something that I'm aware of too, Legal Shield.
Legal Shield, okay,
I was one of the first when they came to Illinois.
right. But what did you learn about her business from that call?
One, she wasn't counting all her costs.
Right,
Yeah.
for sure, there's no way. But could you feel that she was passionate about what she was doing,
Yes.
right?
She was open and honest.
She was open and honest, and here's where it's at, and here's where I'd like it to be, and man, if you could make that happen, I'm what?
Happy.
I'm in. What else?
So one of the most important things in my mind was when she said that she was laid off and she was angry because of that.
Yeah,
It made
okay.
her more determined. She made sure that that's not going to happen again. And so she's highly motivated.
Highly motivated, exactly right. But I also let me hear what else you guys heard from that call. It's great for you guys to have some assessment. What else did you hear from that call that was helpful for you? What did you learn from that call?
She's driven. 'Cause
Right.
She got a master's degree.
She got an MBA, right? So you know she's willing to, and here's what I learned, right? She's willing to invest in her what?
Education.
In her education.
Education.
And she's willing to invest how much? A lot. Because MBAs are not what?
Cheap.
They're not cheap. What else did you learn?
she hasn't spent a ton on marketing in the last year, so there's probably an openness to looking at
To get into that, because obviously, if she's serious about her outcome, she's obviously putting the time into it, but maybe she's putting her time in the wrong what?
Place.
In the wrong place. Right? A scattered beam sheds no light, right?
Right.
It just doesn't. When it's laser focused, it's super what? Super bright and super hot. Okay, what else?
I heard there was room for alignments, a lot of alignments between the people, the resource, the ideas.
Yes.
So there's a lot of room to move things, to give some quick solutions there.
Yes. So we've gotten a lot from that call, right? Did you guys get a lot from that call? Mm-hmm. We know that she's serious about the business, right? She knows she's committed to it. She knows she just felt like she was cheated by corporate America, right? And we know for a fact that when we look at our business, who we focus on, right? We know 60% are small business owners. We know that. We know 20% are SOHOs, small office, home office entrepreneurs. We know 10% are direct sales agents, right? Some kind of independent agents. But we know another 10% are executives in transition. So she fits right in our what? Right in our perfect wheelhouse. We know we can serve her, right? So do we all get call number one? Clear?
Yes.
Okay, so now what happens, we send an email to the client, right? And maybe even a text message. Look forward to having a call with you on this date. We've got some great solutions for you to help you what? Achieve those goals a whole lot faster. Because I do believe that sales is a process, not an event. Sales is a process, not an event. So now we'll go to call number two, right? This is another 20-minute call, but in this call, we're diagnosing the what?
Problem.
The challenge. Because if you can solve their challenge, they're glad to what? They're glad to pay you for it. You see, most people will not pay for prevention for vitamins, but they'll all pay whatever it costs when their leg is broke.
That's right.
True or true?
True.
Okay, so let's do the second call, right? So now, and this is fun for you guys to see this, right? Because it's actually, this is what's going to happen real time, right? So now the second call goes, and of course I call her, and, you know, hello, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Kim, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. How are you today?
Great.
And how's everything going?
It's going good.
Good. Well, I can tell you this, I'm very excited because I had a good chance to look at all the stuff you're doing. I had a chance to review your website. I had a chance to see your corporate team who you work with, right? And I also had a chance to see that there's a lot of people out there doing really well in your business.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting, would you say?
Yeah, that's why.
And I just have a couple questions before we get going because I want to kind of clarify a few things. So, have you ever actually been to the corporate office for the company?
No.
No. Have you actually ever met the CEO?
Yes.
Okay, good. How about some of the founding members of the team that are involved with the corporate at the corporate level?
Yes.
You've seen some of that too? That's awesome because one of the things we found in the business that you're in is that the people that get committed to the business at the super highest level, they tend to have the most success.
Right.
And we also know if you're in the direct sales business like you're in, we have found that for the most part, the ones that seem to make a lot of money are the ones that build great teams. Have you found that to be true too?
Yes.
So we've looked at some of the top leaders in the company. It seems like they're all very good at maybe not just retailing the product, but also building great teams. Is that something that you have an interest in learning how to do even better?
Yeah, that's my goal actually.
That's awesome. And so when we looked at all these things, we began to figure out, you know, we looked at all of our business course and things that we do and also some of the coaching products we have. We found that after we looked at what you're trying to accomplish, we realized that we have a course called the Rainmaker Summit. Now, maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't, right? But the Rainmaker Summit is our 2.5-day business intensive that works in 3 areas. Number one, it helps you become a better leader. It really helps you understand the what and the why of the business you're in, how to build a really powerful vision and mission for your goals with your business. And then on day 2, it's all systems. So how to really build what's called a success track, a success plan, and then a business plan. Would you agree that companies that have a better business plan seem to be more effective?
Yes.
What do you think?
I
Right?
think so, yeah.
And do you think if we could actually help you build out a 1-year plan, I mean a really true success plan to achieve those big goals, you might get there a little faster?
Definitely.
Yeah, so we've realized that too, that if people have a better plan and they have better systems, they're going to make more what?
More money.
Make more money. So when our founder created the program, their focus was those 3 things, right? Build better leaders, have them get better systems, and help them become accountable. Get them really organized. So day 2 in the program, it really is all about connecting with those high-profile people and making sure you have the right connections. Because don't you think the people that have some of the best connections make more
Money.
We found that to be consistent, right? But we also found that you've got to be prepared for business.
Right.
So from your business cards to your marketing cards to all your advertising to all your funnels, in other words, a way to create a great marketing flow of leads a sales process to close them, and then a way to keep them in the what? In the business. Because we found by doing a lot of research about the network marketing business is that many times people will join something and they get what's called SOS, shiny object syndrome, right? They go from this one to this one to this one.
I have that problem.
We've done the research though. The company you're with is a really fine company, right? So we know you've already got a winning brand, right? So now it's just taking that winning brand, make sure that you're totally in alignment with it, right? And we found to help people get in alignment is that they've got to go spend time with the people that run the business.
Right.
Even if it's just one day a quarter or something like that, where they can actually be a part of the bigger brand. But if you can do that, right, you're going to find that you'll stay in alignment and you'll stay focused with that brand. So in the 3-day program, the Rainmaker, what they've created is that day 2 makes sure that you're totally lined up, right? That your business cards, your marketing, your connections, your 2-minute conversation, your 29-second icebreaker, right? Literally building out your Facebook plan, your online plan, your text message plan, your email plan. That if these things aren't running in stereo, they're probably not what? They're not helping you at all,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And then day 3 of the program, which we've worked with so many entrepreneurs on, is being organized. We've found that if we can help people build better days and really build perfect days, they'll make more what?
Money.
They'll make more money, right? And so when we looked at the program, we realized that we built something that gives you all those. Not only that, it gives you access to great networks. In addition to the program, they have a scholarship system where they have more than $20,000 in additional courses that as part of the scholarship, you can get all the scholarship programs as part of the package. Would that be okay with you?
Wow.
And you could save more than 20 grand.
Yeah.
So instead of paying like 22 grand, which would normally pay people pay for what? For 1 year of college, you get the entire package for less than 2 grand. But the idea is that if you're looking to grow that business and you believe that connections could help, systems could help, programs could help, there's no doubt about it that the Rainmaker is going to change your life. Now, in addition to that, I think it may be a great idea to also have a coach, right? We have an incredible package for a coach. We always recommend that someone have a coach. Do you believe that most pro athletes have coaches?
Yeah, I do.
Right. You know why they do that?
Yeah.
Because it works. Does that make sense? It works. And so what we've done is we've created a package that literally gives you not only the Rainmaker program, but if you'd like also a coach. We can give you a one-on-one coach to work with for those 90 days. Because what we found is if you can help someone build great habits, they'll make more what? They'll make more money. And we looked at what you're spending already, right? And the time that you're spending, and we figured out as we could optimize some of your time, it's going to increase your what? Your revenue. You're going to make a lot more money, and you're going to go from that goal of 10, not just 25. Let's say take a goal from 10 to 50 on your team. Would that be awesome to have that?
That would be even
So now it's understanding how do we break it down month over month, week over week to help you get there. And so what I'd like to do, if it's okay with you, because I know for a fact we can help you, and I'd love to have you as part of our courses and our programs, but I'd like to actually send it to you in writing.
okay.
Would that be okay? I'm going to give it a complete breakdown of the different programs we offer, but those are the 2 things. When I looked at what you're doing to help you achieve that goal, there's no doubt that either one of these is the best option for you. And here's the good news too, we finance everything. So don't worry about having to pay for it all at once, right? We have an amazing educational financial program that can help you actually fund your financing over the course of the year.
That would really help.
This way we make it once again, so you've said you're going to commit to the goals for the year, and we're going to commit to you. So now as you're understanding how the call is going, right, we're moving them down a path where they have all the what?
Power.
They have all the power. Our job is simply assess and then diagnose. And so I'd like you to look for that email, and then what I'd like to do is I'd like to schedule one more call with you in 2 days, and we're going to help you get started.
Okay.
Would that be good?
Yeah.
But I want you to review everything first and make sure it's a perfect fit for you.
Okay.
Because I want to make sure you're going to commit to those big goals, because we're going to be your partner to help you get there a lot faster. Would that be good?
Yes.
Okay, so is Friday at 3 o'clock good for you again, the same time?
Friday at 3:30?
3:30 is perfect. So, but do me a favor, please review the email before the call.
Okay.
Because what we're going to talk about on that call is strictly getting started.
Okay.
We're going to take you through mapping that next year of your business. Would that be good?
I certainly will.
Okay, great. I'll let you go. I'll talk to you then.
Okay.
Boom. Okay, so she's very nice in this example, right? They may not always be that nice, right? But at the end of the day, your job is to assess and diagnose. Whether they buy or not, I want you to get this very clear. Write this down. I am not, say this, I am not, emotionally connected to the outcome.
To the outcome, absolutely.
That's huge. You've got to come there with the place that you're there to serve and make it crystal clear. And if you can do that, you're going to generate more business. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
So now we've got call number 1, call number 2 are done, right?
Right.
So now what we've done is we've actually sent her a one-page flyer on the Rainmaker and the coaching package. And an email saying that we're very excited to work with her. And very excited to have a getting started call on Friday at that time. The mistake a lot of us make is we try to go right for the sale. Instead of building what?
Rapport.
Build some rapport. Absolutely. Here's the 2 questions they ask. Please write this down. Will it work? Will it work for me? That's the 2 questions they ask so often in this industry, right? Is what he's talking about going to work, and will it work for me? And if you can answer those 2 questions, you're going to sell a whole lot more. Say, I am.
I am
Ready to sell a whole lot more.
ready to sell a whole lot.
Give someone a high five. Say, it's your time to sell a whole lot more.
It's your time to sell a whole lot more.
Damn right.
Your time to sell a whole lot more.
Bring it on. Without a doubt. Okay, so you ready for call number 3?
Yes.
So let's go to what we call the closing call or the getting started call, right? So now we're going to ring again, right? And of course, you know, ring, ring.
Hello,
Hey, Kim, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Bill?
I'm doing awesome. How was your week?
Great, great.
Yes?
Waiting
What-
for you to call me.
Nice. I like that. I like that, right? Because obviously you're excited about the what? About the outcome.
Yes.
Good. And did you have a chance to go through the whole email?
Yes, I have been looking at all the different things that you gave me, and I have a couple questions.
Good.
Actually, in regards to
Everyone does.
Yeah. So, okay, but is this going to really work for me? I mean, is this something that you can really like take me to my next level?
Here's the fun part about our programs, right? You going to the next level is up to you.
Okay.
I'm not going to guarantee anything.
Okay.
We have people to come through our course and do absolutely nothing.
Okay.
People that come through our programs and do skyrocket results, right? Everyone results is based on what you're going to do. All we're going to do is give you, number 1, the vision of where you're going. Is that clear?
Okay.
And we're going to help you build the mission to get there. But someone like you has to do the what?
To work.
The work.
And
what
I'm a
we've,
hard worker.
I know you are. We've already seen that, right? But what I found for a lot of times that if you're going to be a dreamer, you'll always be a dreamer. If you're going to be a doer, you'll always be a doer, right? So the fine line is that many times we don't know what it takes to get to the top,
Yeah.
right? But we've worked with people in your industry and many different companies to help them get to the top. So as long as you're committed to the success, here's the fun part. I've looked through your website. I've looked at all those leaders, right? The funny thing is that they don't look a whole lot different than you. So if they can do it, guess what?
I can too.
So can you. But realize what you don't know is that many of those leaders paid the price in advance.
Right.
They put the work into it, right? They built what's called a DMO, a daily method of operation, that is very consistent to get those outcomes.
Right.
Where many times most of us are not willing to put that work into it. Does that make sense? And that's why they quit.
Right.
But I can tell you for a fact that with our program, we're going to help you map out not just the year, we're going to help you map out the quarters, the months, the weeks, and the days.
Yes.
So that you know, what do I do every day to hit those outcomes or those goals? Because a lot of times what happens for a lot of entrepreneurs is that they never took a class on that. They never took a course on $1 million habits, right? They didn't know what to do. So once you have those habits, and it all starts with your thoughts, because you know your thoughts become your what? Your words. Your words become your actions become your what? Your habits. We know that, right? And that's the beauty of the Rainmaker program, that you know they've offered this course now for almost 10 years in cities all over the world
That's great.
to help entrepreneurs achieve their big goals and dreams. And I think it's also being a part of that network. What we found is that many entrepreneurs, if they just had a better network, they'd create more success. So as part of the Rainmaker program, just so you're very clear on all the things, right? You can go as many times as you want for the year, right? Which is awesome. If you have kids, you can bring all your kids, and there's no extra charge for that. You get access to all the video courses, all the audio courses, right, for the whole year. But you also get access to their global community for the rest of your life. So now you can plug into a bigger network, because you told me, right, that if you had a better network, you'd what? Probably make more money, right? And a lot of times what happens in the business that you're in is that you get burned out on your friends and family, right? Because you can only go to them so many times, and after a while they're like, oh, I've already heard this before, right? But what we've realized is that if you can get someone that has a great message around the right network, it goes a whole lot faster. And so we have the course city after city, month after month. And the course is only one step of it, then you have to what? You can do the work, right? And that's why we talked about having a coach would be very, very helpful for you as well. So that when you finish the course, or we can even set the coach up early. So if the course is not going to start for a couple months, you can start the coaching next week. Because as part of the program, you'll download the success track today. as soon as you're ready to get started. Because you do want to fast track the business, right?
Right.
Great. So you actually start today. We have conference calls you can plug into and videos you can watch long before you come to the program. Because we found that if you're going to have that success, you got to follow a process.
That's true.
If you're not going to follow the process, you're not going to have the success. And we make that very, very clear, right? And you've seen in the email that we sent out to you that we're looking for the entrepreneurs that are committed,
Right.
the business owners that are committed to their big success. And obviously that sounds like you, right?
I am committed.
So when we looked at both programs, right, and I had a chance to review, which one do you feel is the best way for you to go? You know, would you like to start with number 1 or number 2? Would you like to just come to the Rainmaker first, or would you like the Rainmaker with a coach?
I think I'll start with the Rainmaker.
That's awesome. I'm telling you, you're going to love it.
I love
And I think the big thing, too, which is great about the Rainmaker program, is that you have your own Rainmaker concierge. So you'll have one person you'll deal with through the entire process of Rainmaker.
Great.
Because what we found is that if we can help people get connected quicker to the source, they'll have more what? They'll have more success. And do you have a couple hours a week maybe before you get to the course to do some homework?
Sure.
Would that be okay?
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, once again, I've already sent you in the email, I sent you our annual calendar. So you see in the calendar of the events we have for the whole year. So which one of the cities are you thinking about going to?
The one in Las Vegas.
Perfect. People love that one for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's something about December in Vegas. Everyone wants to go there. You know what I'm saying? I've just heard that to be the case. And so what I can do to help you get started right now is I can actually, the link is in there to get enrolled for the Rainmaker, but let me give you the special code, right? So that you're not paying the retail price on the site and you're getting all the bonuses.
Oh, great.
So if you got a pen to write this down?
Yes.
It's, go to this website, www.rainmakersummit.com. Here's the following code specific for you, right? Then you can get enrolled today and we'll get you started. And I can tell you, you're going to love it. We're really excited. So the steps you're going to have is that number 1, you'll get a call from our concierge team, right? Number 2, you'll get access to the Rainmaker Access back office where you'll watch the videos and download the success track. And number 3, just get ready for one of the best years you've ever had in your life.
Awesome.
Would that be awesome?
Yes, that would be great.
I'm really excited to work with you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And don't forget, you've got my direct number. If I can help you in any way, shape, or form, just send me a quick text. I'm always available.
Okay, great.
All right, thanks. Welcome to the family.
Thank you.
Good. Good. So do you guys get that, right? So the call is, once again, it takes a little longer, right? But you're going to find if you'll take a little longer, you'll make more sales. Good? Question?
Okay, so I didn't go through where you had the financing.
Mhm.
Something that if they ask or
If they ask, right.
for them.
If they ask, if they say, I would like to come, I need some financing. If they don't ask for financing, guess what I don't do?
Don't offer it.
Don't ask them.
There's no reason to, right? Why bother, right? And we do some enhancements now where, like for our Vegas events, we'll usually buy big blocks of rooms. And so the company will offset the cost of that, where if they'll pay in full, we'll offset the room, we'll give them a free suite while they're there.
That's a good one to play.
Usually for the UWC, not for the Rainmakers. That makes sense. So it's for the bonus programs. We always have that set up where it's part of the bonuses that they get. So now they feel like they got even what?
More.
Now the Rainmaker concierge says, oh, by the way, we've seen you paid in full. We've got a couple tickets for you for your Rainmaker. We also have a couple tickets for the UWC event. We do internet marketing and joint ventures, and we're also going to pick up your room there. They're like, wow, that's pretty cool. They didn't even expect that, right? And here's some other tickets we have for you because, you did talk about getting plugged in for the whole year, right?
Right.
So now we're going to plug you in for the whole year with some great events. And as a matter of fact, if you're in Chicago, they also have entrepreneur nights every couple months too, so we'll plug you in for those as well. So now you know all the stuff that's happening, and that's all coming from the concierge side, right? So that's after the purchase has been made.
Okay.
So a lot of times what happens is that we've got to be very, very clear on what that call looks like and where the customer needs to go. And a lot of times I like the idea, which is the best way for you to get started today. Instead of giving them one option, give them what?
2.
Give them 2 or 3 options, right? Make it easier for them to say, that's exactly what I want, right? Because I think a lot of times what we do is we give them one choice and like, oh, that doesn't fit perfect, so I'm not sure. But, I've found that if you'll give people choices, right, they'll make the choice that fits them best, right? They're like, oh, man, I need a coach right now. We've had some clients say, I need a coach today. You know what I mean? I'm ready for the course, but I need a coach right now. So we'll get you plugged into a coach immediately.
Yeah.
Good. And then, of course, guys, if they're not going to make that purchase, they say, oh, I'm not really sure about that. You can say, what we've done is we've created a fast track program to help you get started. And the fast track, you get to work with a one-on-one coach for 1 month for $497. And they'll help you align the vision, the mission, right? The game plan, the daily, just for 1 month. And you get 1 hour a week with that coach, but that 4 hours could literally save your life for your business. So maybe you're not ready to go for the full program. We have what's called a fast track program with a coach, and it's 30 days. So that's always your what, guys?
Fallback.
It's always your fallback. It's always your downsell. And if they're not ready for that, right, you can always downsell to the EMV Success Kit, right, which is like $200, right? So you can kind of go back down a couple times, but really it's either the Rainmaker or the fast track with a coach. And if they're not willing to invest $500 in their business, that's probably not what? Not a customer anyway. Good? Was that fun?
Yeah.
Say, Bill?
Yeah.
I'm ready for more.
I'm ready for more.
Say, Bill?
Yeah.
I need a break first.
I need a break first.
All right, you guys got 15 minutes. Go enjoy it. Give yourselves a round of applause. Good job.